The slide is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. The next is unity of direction. The entire organization should be moved towards a common objective. In case of common directions, relative activities should group together, and there should be one plan action for them, and they should be under the charge of particular managers. So in case of, if you take the best example, in case of project organizations, in case of construction of bridges, in case of construction of multi-stair buildings, in that case, one person is assigned, and they that person is lead the particular team, and that team should be mobilized as per the instruction of the team leaders. So due to that unity of direction, they work for a common goals to complete the project, to maximize the profit, to produce quality of product, to involve effectively and efficiently in case of production activities. The next is subordination and individual interest to general interest. In case of interest of one person should not be take priorities. If a person is provide valuable decision not about himself, that should not be considered. It should be considered for organization as a whole. The next is remunerations. We have already discussed this one. The remuneration should be fair, reasonable, satisfactory, and some remuneration should be awarding for employee effort. The wages should be determined on the basis of cost of livings, work assigned, financial position of the business, wages rate, and prevailings, etc. So in case of the cost of living, as I told in the previous class, that the state like Kerala has the highest wages. They provide highest wages to the daily wages worker as compared to the state of Odisha. The next is centralized and decentralized. The in case of centralized means concentration of authority at the top level, and decentralized means disposal of decision making authority to all the level of organizations. So in case of centralized, only one authority should provide the decision, but in case of decentralized, the decision making authority to all level of organizations. Next one. So this one is the Fowler 14 principle of management. In case of scalar chains, the foil defined the scalar chain as the chain of superior, ranging from the ultimate authority to the lowest, and each order instruction, message, request, explanation has to be passed through those scalar chains. But the sake of convenience and urgency, the path can be cut short, or that should be optimized, or that should be customized, and this shortcut is known as gang plan to facilitate for quick and easy communications. So in that case, so in that case, if you see the figure below, the D starting from the D, C, and B, the authority has divided for collecting the different level of communications. The D, C, and B are the collection of information, and the authority A directly assign the work to EFG. So due to that collection of information and assign the information in the form of job, in the form of work to different number of people, that is known as gang flag, and that should be easily understand in case of scalar chains. The next one is the next is order. The principle is concerned with proper and systematic arrangement of things and peoples. The arrangement of things is called material order, placement of peoples, that is called as social order. So in case of principle concerned with proper and systematic arrangement of things and people, the arrangement things is called material order. Whenever you arrange raw material, that is known as raw material arrangement. Whenever you arrange peoples, that is known as social orders. The next one is equity. All employees should be treated as equally as possible. It is the combination of fair, kindness, and justice. So whenever you involve more amount of people, you must provide them fair in case of wages, in case of information, in case of communications, and provide kindness and provide justice, equal justice to all employee. That is the concept. The next is stability of tenure of personnel. That is retaining productive employees should be always be high priority of management. So those who are dedicatedly work in case of organizations, and company are rewarding those type of employees for their dedications. So due to that thing, a high amount of priority should be given by the management to that particular employees. So thereby reducing the cost of hiring of new candidates. That is why, due to many, if you take the example of manufacturing companies, they are already those who are dedicatedly work and they are known as highly skilled worker. In that case, the company will assign multitask job. So due to that multitask job, they are reduce the cost of hiring new candidates. That's the next one is initiatives. The management should take step to encourage worker initiative, which is defined as new or additional work activities undertaken through the self directions. So in case of initiative, most of the company encourage the worker which define the new additional work activities under through the self directions. So that is why the HR department is responsible for providing adequate training, motivate the employees to do their work effectively and efficiently. The next is spirit the curve. The management should encourage the team spirit or harmony and general good feeling among the employees, proper coordination of work, encouragement to the subordinates, giving chance to improve, and that will foster the team spirit. So that is why through the top level of management, or you can say that the high level authorities for corporate, for industries, for service industries, they are always encourage the worker through motivations, through team spirit, through providing bonus, through providing incentives, and that encourage to their subordinate, which gives a chance to improve, and that foster the team spirit. That is the concept behind spirit the curve. The next one is human behavior schools. So in that case, in case of human behavior school, all it is also called human relations or the Hawthorne, as far as concerned with the Hawthorne studies, it is intensive and systematic analysis of human factors. So this experiment was conducted in the year 1924, in between 1924 and 1933. The Hawthorne experiment follow a phase process. Those phase will be explained as below. So in that particular experiment during 1924, it was funded by the General Electrics, and the experiment was conducted by the National Research Council. The experiment was conducted to measure the light intensity versus workers. So in that particular experiment, what did by General Electrics, they put high intensity light on workers, and as a result, each change result in higher output and reported greater employee satisfaction. So due to unavailability of light or intensity of light, people are not get attached with the workstations. Due to invisibility of low light, their efficiency will be less. But in this particular experiment, the General Electric will be increase the light intensity at the workshop or work floor where production activities is concerned. The next part is that in case of human, next part, just a minute. This is the phase one. Then phase two is the relay assembly test group. It was already it was already experimented in the year 1925. So a small group of worker was placed in separate room and a number of variables were altered like increase the wages and introduction of rest period of varying length. The work day, the work week were shortened. As a result, the performance tends to increase over the period, but it also increase and decrease the erratically. So suppose 4 to 5 people are involved in a team and the company directly increase the wages of first person, the rest person are get irritated or erratically behave. So due to that thing, some are competitively increase the work efficiency, but some are decrease the work efficiency due to the human behavior effect. So this is the second phase of human behavior schools. The next part is that in case of interviewing program, it was implemented during 1928. The more than 21,000 employees were interviewed over a period of 3 years to find out the cause of increased productivity. And the emphasis of this phase was on human relations rather than on working condition. So for this time, the importance of internal work group was recognized as a result. The during face-to-face interview program for a period of 3 years, the company found the different causes of increased productivities. Because if you interview different level of people, so different type of people, different skill level of peoples, you can collect various type of idea, and that idea directly transform into productivities. The next one is phase 4, that is terminal blank wiring observation experiment. So in this particular experiment, it was already introduced during 1929. So in this experiment, 14 male workers were formed into a work group, intensively observed 7 months in the blank wiring room. They were engaged in the assembly of terminal bank for the use of telephone exchange. So these employees were paid individual wages and a bonus based upon the group effort. So it was expected that the highly efficient worker would bring pressure on other worker, increase the output and high bonus also. So if someone is dedicatedly work and force other to do their work in dedicatedly, in that case the output and they are also increase the bonus also. Their last point, however, the expected result did not come about, and indeed the group developed specific mechanisms to protect themselves based on the certain sentiments. So what are the sentiment? Do not turn out too much work. Do not turn out too little work. Do not tell your superior anything that would be harm an associate. So these are the sentiment as far as concerned with human behavior. Do not turn too much work. So do not turn too little work. That means you do never go for excess of work or overtime of work. Never do little work, and never told your or never tell your superior anything about your harm that will harm a particular team or group. The next part is that is the fourth one, the social system school. So in case of social system school thought, it is closely linked to the human behavior school of thought. So this school looks upon management as a social system consisting of various group of peoples. It is primarily concerned with the behavior of people in a particular group. So this approach heavily sociologically in nature rather than individual psychology. So the social system approach identify the nature of cultural relations or various social group and attempt to show them the related and then usually integrated them. So as far as concerned with the manufacturing organizations, there are the different level of work group is there. They are belong to different type of caste also, and their culture is different. So whenever you attempt that particular or you provide or you show off them that we are in a particular social group, and that social system is integrated the whole team, and the whole team which work for a common goal. The next is in case of social system, if you go to the features, just a minute. If you go to the features, the management is view, the basic features includes the management is view as a social system and a system of cultural relations that includes religion, the education, the political system, economic system, and language, etc. So this school lean heavily on sociological perspective. So in case of relationship exists between external and internal environment of the organization. So basically, internal environment belongs to the different department, division, and sub department of organization, and external environment belongs to starting from the distributors, suppliers, and even if the outlet, the outbound storage, the logistics should be considered in the external environment. So it's a existing relation between both internal as well as external environment of the organizations. The next is in case of management is concerned with the cooperative interaction of ideas, design, thinking of peoples. So that is why nowadays most of the IT company or software company providing to build up social system, they directly go for social works. In case of distribution of masks during pandemic situation, distribution of sanitizers in the pandemic situation. So this collaboratively perform a group activities, and that group activities make the social system enhance to increase the productivity of that particular organizations. The next one is it emphasizes the cooperation and team spirit among the group members for the achievement of organizational objectives. The management has to direct the effort towards establishing harmony between the goal of organization and goal of groups also. So these are the basic features. If you go to the next one, so these are the limitation of social systems. So basically, the limitation include the field of management cannot be confused with the social confused with the study of sociology, which is one of the most important tool for understanding of an organization as a social entities. The next point is the school present a very broad field for study the management, and it overlook many managerial concepts like principles and techniques. These are the most important for managers. And lastly, it does not lay a proper emphasis on technological factors connected with the psychological behavior of people. So in the last part, you cannot be mapping the psychological behavior of people through the initiation of technology factors. So these are the basic limitation of your social system schools. The next two, decision theory schools. So in case of decision theory schools, this is the next principle of Foyle's. So this school regards management as a simple a process of decisions. Whatever a manager does, he does it through the making decisions. The emphasis is not on the peoples or nor on the environment variables. Thus, decision making is the most important function of management. The decision should be taken at the right times, and that should be related to the situation of environment and should be feasible in a given situation. It should be communicated to the particular right persons. Clear. I will show a case study how the decision should be. Just a minute. So this slide is visible. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Try to understand. The DS is very much famous for which type of product? Have you heard of DS Group? Anyone? Have you heard about DS Group? Anyone? Hello. Okay. So in case of DS Group, the DS Group stands from Dharmpal Satyapal Group. It's a rapidly growing multi-diversified conglomerate and with presence of diverse industry sectors. The company formed in the year 1929, the DS Group has remained committed towards the creating premium quality of product and has been credited with the several breakthrough in case of innovation for close to 9 decades. Clear. So here the case studies belong to the which one? Decision makings. Clear. The group has focused the growth and diversification with an indebted belief in case of high standard product and reliability and transparency. So have you heard about DS Group? DS Group belong to spices, the Cage Spices Group, the beverage of Maja, then confectionery, then dairy, then mouth fresheners like Paspas, then hospitality, then tobacco in case of Rajnigandha, then packaging and agroforestries. Clear? So these are the founder. There is Dharmpal Sugandhi and Satyapal Sugandhi. So that is why the group is known as DS Group. So this is the office of Gurgaon of your DS Group. And these are the various products starting from tobacco related product, mouth fresheners, confectionery, food beverage, dairy, hospitality, agri and packagings. The next is these are the product. In case of tobacco, they produce Rajnigandha, this most premium brand. Then Cage Spices. In case of beverage, they provide fruity, maja. Even if they are providing packages to the company like paper boat also. The next one is, have you heard this one? Pulse Candy. Anyone?
Yeah, sir.
Why Pulse Candy is
Yes,
very
sir.
much famous? Anyone?
Sir, for a taste.
Good. For its taste. Okay. Just imagine it is the only one company across India who tested the flavor of mango taste, because mango is a national fruit of India. Clear. And every age, starting from the child mass, the young mass, even if the old mass also prefer the taste. So due to that taste, if you go to the traditional candy companies, in case of India, the biggest competitor are Apple levels, then Kacha Aam. These are the biggest competitor as far as concerned with Pulse candy. But the thing is that it is the innovative product as far as concerned with TS Group. They provide some tangy twist inside the candy. So due to that tangy twist, it should be easily acceptable in different level of customers. Clear. And that decision, this innovative product decision is provided by the top authorities. I will show so those who are person dedicated to work for this particular candy. So if you go to the market, these are the basic competitors starting from the Kacha Mango, then the jumpers and Apple label. Even if your other product like Swachh Charm, Swachh Emily, these are the competitor of your Pulse candy. Going to the next slide. So in case of just imagine this is already published in case of print media, the Candy Crush, how Pulse got its rights. So if you go to the how a tangy innovation made through the back through the stagnant candy category and clock around 150 crores in the first year of launch. So before, as far as concerned with their financial report of DS Group, the company provide or the company will earn the profit of 70 crore rupees within 3 months of launch this new product. And due to mud drop when see against the approximately 7,700 crore that group has clocked in the financial year of 2016. About the significant consideration of the time frame and the fact that it came from the hard boiled candy price, the company has faced more number of difficulty to reduce the price of candy to 1 rupees, because in case of competitive market, as far as concerned with Kacha Aam and your Apple levels, they reduce the price up to 50 paisa. Clear. So it is the most challenging task or challenging decision for DS Group to reduce the price of candy. And these are the person who dedicatedly work. These are belong to the senior management, starting from the Sasank Surana. That just imagine at the age of 29, and he is presently the vice president of your product development under DS Group, and another person that is Rajiv Kumar, the vice chairman of DS Group for research and development team working for PassPass, even Pulse Candy. So these person are uh, providing the innovation in the form of candy, and due to that thing, they go for market survey, and due to their decisions, the Pulse Candy just I'll show that one. Due to his decisions, this is the social analysis of Pulse Candy in case of Twitter, in case of YouTube, in case of Facebook. So if you go to the Pulse Candy and Pulse Kacham and Hajmola, the most of the rating should be given to the Pulse Candy. And it is happened due to this decision strategy. These are the decision strategy. They initially target the market, that the market should be geographical segmentations, since Rajasthan and Gujarati casinos share the similar tangy taste. So during the launching of your Pulse Candy, the place like Gujarat and place like Rajasthan, they have already taste or already place a similar product by other company. The company decided to test the market, and in this state, they first launched the candy. The next is eventually they directly focus mass market strategy. So in case of mass market strategy, raw mango are released by the people of all ages. As I told, this particular product is acceptable by all regions. Clear. And even if in case of geographical location across India, it should be easily accepted. As you as you directly focus the place like South India, even if East India, West India, and North India also. So there was no particular target group who is single out for the pulse candy, and these candies should be tangy taste because they provide some powder form of tangy taste inside the candy, and due to that uh, innovative thing inside the candy, that should be easily fulfill the flinch launch eventually, and the sales rate will be gradually increase day by day. So these are the concept. Then going to next one. Just a minute. Okay. So that means I've just read the last point. So that is why the DS company has taken the right time, and that should be related to the right situation or right environment. As you gone through this particular slide of DS group, uh, they have choose the right time because if you see in case of Rajasthan, in case of Gujarat, they have few companies are already placed the same flavor in the form of other brand. But the thing is that it is the right time to mass markets implement the mass market strategy across India, and they launch the particular product. And the next part is that they directly focus on your environment because there is no particular age group is concerned as far as pulse candy. The next part is it should be feasible to given situation. They provide the tangy twist inside the candy. That is the perfect feasible situation to create more potential customers. So that is why it should be communicated to the right person. That is why these two authorities belong to DS group. They provide the right person for mass marketing strategy, and even if your initial essence. The next one is that, so these are the features of your decision theory. Starting from the management is essential or essentially a process of decision making. The manager are basically decision makers and problem solvers. For increase the organizational efficiency, the quality of decision is very important. In this approach, the emphasis a lot of people are not the environmental variable, but on the decision itself. So you just take the example of TS group, there is no environmental factor should be considered. So only the geographical allocation, like the place like South India, North India, even if East and West India should be considered. The next part is that, so in case of decision theory school, the next part is evaluations. The decision making is very important for effective management. So this approach contributes lots towards the sharpening and managerial tools, especially for making suitable decision in case of organizations. The school explain how the manager can perform their duties and function efficiently. However, the decision making cannot be treated as an independent function. It is the only one of the tasks that can be executed performed. So the decision making appears to be narrow, focused to build a total theory of management. I will show another case studies where a person is directly involved in case of decision school, or he can involve himself in case of decision school. So have you heard this brand? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is the brand? Brand name?
Royal
Especially
Enfield,
for
Enfield.
sir.
this question, especially for
Royal,
boys.
The Royal Enfield.
Royal Enfield. What is the
Royal
tagline of
Enfield.
Royal
Royal
Enfield?
Enfield. Royal Enfield.
What is the tagline of Royal Enfield?
go like a bullet.
Wrong, you are wrong. Made like a bullet. It is already written in the slide. This is the tagline.
Made like a gun.
Made like a
Made
gun,
like a gun, goes like a bullet.
goes like a bullet. This is the tagline of Royal Enfield. Okay. So here we are discussing the case study regarding decision making. Clear? So this is the person. His name is Siddharth Lal. Basically, the son of Eicher Motors. Clear? So there is a joint venture company started in case of India, Eicher and Royal Enfield. Clear? So Eicher is specialized for automotive, especially in case of heavy trucks. Clear? So his father work as a CEO of Eicher Motors. Later, the company took over Royal Enfield, and they started the manufacturing unit in case of Which area? That is Chennai. So after his father instruction, this person is joined Royal Enfield as a CEO at the age of 26. Clear. So in the left corner, the company is already going to be lost. So when Siddharth Lal is joined, the company already bankrupted and faces more heavily losses. So due to his decisions, the company will be rise. Okay. So I will show how the company will be rise. So just imagine the CEO of Royal Enfield in the year 2000, at the age of 26, he aimed to end the unit losses from 200 of Royal Enfield headquarters in Chennai, introducing cost-cutting measures, product upgrade, and honestly, at the age, it is seemed to be fun things to do. I could eat, sleep, ride, and talk motorcycle. His quote in case of business magazines that it is very much fun at the age of 26 being a CEO of a India's leading motorcycle companies. The next part is that how he's made decisions. The decision is specially termed that is known as turnaround management. Clear. I am talking about decision making in case of that is the philosophy of decision theory schools. So in case of turnaround management, it is the process of dedicating to corporate renewals. Clear. So if you go to 2 decades back, 20 years back or 30 years back, the Royal Enfield provide a huge sound. Okay, due to that sound, it provide less fuel efficient. Clear. So that means what? The product remains same and some specifications should be modified in the form of new product. So it is why it use analysis and planning to save trouble companies and return to solvents and identify the region to falling performance in the market rectify. So in that time there is only one competitor available in the market, and by that is Hero Honda CBZ. Clear. But in case of 350 segment, there is no bike is available in case of India. So that is why he decided to modify all the things, starting from the silencer point of view, starting from the engine point of view. Even if the they increase the mileage ratio, increase the sitting arrangement, and more variant models should be available through that particular decision making. The next part is that in case of turnaround management, involve management review. So in case of root cause, for what are the different root of failures? Because during that time there is no fuel indicators there in case of Royal Enfields. Only those who are belong to higher or rich people should be able that particular bike. It is not suitable for middle class, even if the below poverty lines. Clear. You just break the all barriers and go for SWOT analysis. What are the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat analysis that determine why the company is falling. The next part is that I just quickly gone through. Okay. So these are the techniques, that is retrenchment, reposition, replacement, and renewal should be done in case of Royal Enfield. So just imagine this person, due to this his decision, the company save around 55,000 crore rupees. Clear. And in World Economic Forum, he told about he himself involved in case of production activities. Clear. How involved? Like this. He even tested the bike, he even assembled the bike, even tightening the different nut and bolts also in the production out. And just imagine in the year 2015, this Chennai plant has produced 500 number of unit. But after his decision making, that plant produced 4,500 number of unit in a single month. And due to that efficient involvement of all employees, the company will provide a huge amount of bonus to their employees. The next part is that if you go to the fast versions, this is the fast model of Royal Enfield during 1901, and these are the different variant. If you go to the 10 and 20 years back, only one variant is available, but nowadays different variant models are available. And this was specially designed for NSC expedition in the year 2017. After 2911, in case of Mumbai, the NSC group is demand. They provide a particular demand to the Indian Army, and the Indian Army is place a order of 26 number of this particular model to their bravery soldiers, and these soldiers ride a different part of country for the for that particular incident. Okay, these are the pictures, and this is the most you can say it is controversial ad by Bajaj Dominar versus Royal Enfield. And the next one is this is the brand ambassador of Royal Enfield, Jeff Martin. Especially, he's a guitarist. And this person, this is a very much famous temple for bullet. That is Om Baba Temple near Rajasthan, where a bullet is to go for worship. And these are the latest models. So due to that thing, nowadays for border patrolling, for long drive, even if your Independence Day and 26 January parade, the defense personnel are using this particular model for display. So that's going to next one. Okay, the next one is quantitative schools. So in case of quantitative school, this group believes that the management is logical process and it can be expressed. It can be expressed in terms of mathematical symbols. Sorry, in case of mathematical symbol and relationship. It makes use of techniques as operation research, linear programming, queuing theory, model buildings, and the features include the management is concerned with problem solving and it's make use of mathematical tools and techniques. So for this purpose, such basic mathematical model operation research, that is the simulation model, game theory, then your program evaluation review techniques, that is part, and critical path method, that is CPM, to solve that particular quantitative methods. So these different factors involved in case of management can be quantified and used expressed in terms of model equations which can be solved. The next point is the management can be described in a quantitative or mathematical symbols, the data and relationships. It covers decision making and some aspect of human behavior also. So in case of quantitative schools, so these are the limitations. So in case of limitation, the mathematical model cannot be considered as a substitute for sound judgment. They they at best be treated as a technique for managerial analysis. So there are certain phases of management process which cannot be expressed in mathematical symbol and formulas. So this approach is focused on decision making, has ignored other function of management. And last point, the school does not consider the human element in the organizations. The next point is system schools. So in case of system school is recent origin having development in the late 1960s. It considers the management is in the totality and attempt to view the organization as a unified and purposeful system composed of interrelated parts. So suppose you are in a systems, the system contains the different divisions, different department, different sub-departments, and different interrelated part who are directly or indirectly involved in case of your production activities. The next point is uh, next one. It consider okay. Next one. The next these are the basic features. In organization is unified, integrated systems consist of several subsystem parts and subparts. So as I told, if you go to integrated organizations like NALCO, like your ferrochrome in Therubali, like the ferrochrome in Chodwar. In that case, these are the integrated system. That means it composed of different, or you can say that several subsystem are there, several parts and subparts are there. If you combine or integrated the whole thing, a integrated system is formed. All the subsystem parts and subparts are interrelated and independent parts. A change in one part will be affect change in others. So each system has a boundary that separate it from its environment. The boundary of a system may be classified into two parts, that is closed system and open systems. So in case of closed system, there is no environment, that is for outside system are to be considered. Sorry, in case of closed system, there has no environment, and that is for which no outside system should be considered. In case of closed system, the within the organization system should be considered, and there is no outside system is considered. But in case of open system, there has an environment that it process system with which it relate, exchange and communicate. The next one is the system approach follow the laws of synergy. So synergy means the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So if you combine different 10 to 15 number of parts, it directly form a greater part. That is the concept behind law of synergy. Then the part of system becomes more productive and when they interact with each other. So whenever you collectively combine one part with other and one part with infinity number of part, a greater part should be formed. The next one is, this is the last one, the contingency theory schools. According to this particular school, the management problem are different under different situation and need to be tackled as per the demand of situations. So this environment of organization and manager is very complex and uncertain. Therefore, approach is highly practice oriented. So this contingency theory is very much complex. So whenever you practice more, it should be highly practice clear, and it is need to be tackled as per the demand situation. For example, in case of rainy season, the demand of umbrella is very much higher side. In case of manufacturing organization, they have to tackle the demand from customer point of view and fulfill the demand. You can say they maintain a balance between supply as well as the demand. The next one is, these are the features include in case of contingency theory. The management is entirely situational. The condition of situation will be determined with technique and control system that should be designed to fit a particular situations. The management policy and procedure should be respond to the environmental condition also. So for example, in case of COVID-19 situations, the sale or demand of your nose masks or a nose shield should be increased. So it is depend upon the environmental conditions. So as I told, in case of rainy season, raincoat and umbrella demand is very much higher side. The various technique and control systems should be designed to fit the particular situation. So that is why more simulation tools and techniques, you can say that is forecasting tools should be implemented. The next one is the manager should be understand there is no best way of managing, and it should be the situation which will determine the technique and method of management. The next point, this approach is action oriented as it is directed toward the application of system concept. So this theory attempts to determine the predictable relation between situation and action and outcomes. Then the next, this is the last slide. So these are the limitations. That this approach lack theoretical base. It is totally practicable approach. The manager expertise is difficult to analyze the situation in absence of need research device and generalization of understanding behavior of situations. The consideration of environmental factor are necessary to develop an organizational decision, organizational design and action. But manager are certainly unaware of environmental change and could not be analyzed the environmental factor properly. The critics argue that contingency theory does not incorporate all aspects of system theory. So it has not yet developed to point where it can be considered to be true theory. So these are the limitations of contingency theory. So that's all for today. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
If you have any doubt, you can ask regarding today class. Okay. Thank you all. We'll continue the same topic with more case studies. I think all of you understand.
Yes, sir.
Okay, as I told,
Yes,
this is a
sir.
particular theory class or theory subject. Clear. So before providing the notes and previous year questions, we'll just go on through the slide. I will send you by tomorrow. Then you will directly go through all slide and try to understand or try to read all the things that you will easily understand the situations. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Yes, Pranav. Any question asked?
Yes, sir.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you all.
No, sir, no questions.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Thank you, sir.